Alright, welcome back, guys, to a session of X-Plane 12. Here we are in Hangars in the middle of Mexico. Let's try a Mojave location next in the middle of the desert, but here we are in MMQT, Querétaro International. We're going to go ahead and run for runway 09er. So, let's start. Full thing. Before engine startup, we want a pre-flight inspection. Let's say that's complete since we don't have the ability to get out of the aircraft and simulate a walk around. So pre-flight inspection complete. Seatbelts, adjusted fuel selector valve. That is on both. That is a check. Circuit breakers. Nothing off of the circuit breakers. They're all in. I'll check. Nothing lights up. It's a go. Avionics and radars are off. That is a check. Brakes are set. Check. And starting engine. So we go mixture rich. Primer 3 1/4. And leave it open at around 1/4. Should be around there. Let's see. Throttle open at 1/4 is check. Master on. Beacon on. And clear. Hold it, and release. See how close we got to 1,000. Just a little bit of adjustment. Right around there, 1,000 RPM. Okay, so power at 1,000 RPM is check. With these RPMs, let's check the oil pressure. Oil pressure is green. That is check. Avionics and radios on, and they should set to their frequency automatically. There it is. That should be Mexico. That should be tower. Let's go ahead and adjust these. If we're going to take off 09er, and we want to land 09er. Looks like we're at 148. Let's go ahead and adjust this. Alright, radios and avionics on frequency. That is a check. Now lights is required. We're going to need landing, taxi, navigation. Lights are check. So, before takeoff or before taxi, we want doors and windows closed. They are. That's a check. Brakes are set. Mixture is rich. And now we want 1,700 RPMs. Right around there. 1,700 RPMs. And now we adjust the mixture until the RPMs no longer rise. Let's do it slow. Looks like we're getting a little close. Should be around there. They no longer rose around there. So mixture is set, and with these RPMs, let's do a magneto check. Left has a deviation, no more than 100 RPMs. We return to both and let it recover. Right magneto check has a deviation, no more than 100 RPMs. That is a go. Return to both and let that recover. Magnetos are check. With this RPM, we check the instruments. Here we have amperometer. It's charging. Suction or vacuum between 4 and 6. That is green. Pressure and temperature for the oil is green. So instruments are go. That is a check. We reduce RPMs to 1,000. Try to not do that so dramatically. Alright, 1,000, and we obtain traffic clearance, and it would sound something like Querétaro Tower, this is X-Ray Bravo Alpha Delta Hotel. We wait for a reply like Alpha Delta Hotel, go ahead, and we would reply Alpha Delta Hotel. It's a Cessna 172 in Hangars for local flight, returning today. Request VFR taxi departing 09er. 8,500, 10 miles. Then they'd give us our taxi. Let's say it's Golf Alpha Hotel, maintain Hotel 09er. And we reply exactly what they tell us. That is taxi Golf Alpha Hotel, maintain Hotel, short of runway 09er, Alpha Delta Hotel. And let's go ahead and do our flight surface control. Let's see here. Let's turn on the yoke. So flight surface controls are going to be 1 and 2 for pitch. That's 3 and 4 for roll. We got 5 and 6 for yaw, and 7 is break. But let's go ahead and get a visual on this. Let's see. Linear. Maybe free cam. No, that's not it. Go to external. That should do it. Alright, so 1 and 2 for pitch. That should be only the elevators there. That is 3 and 4 for roll. Got the ailerons moving. Then 5 and 6 for yaw. Let's get a better looks. 5 and 6 and 7 is going to be brakes. So it looks like our controls are a go. Alright, 1000 RPM. To start taxiing, we would go up to 1300 max. So let's start at 1200 and turning off the rudder, the yoke, and releasing the brakes. Remember to use your rudder, that's your flight control surface here. And run on the white line. The yellow line. Colorblind pilot, imagine that. That wouldn't work. Like the first thing I check at the medical exams. Can you differentiate these colors? Can you see the words in between all these colored dots? What letter, what number? It seems they don't want to bother with the with proceeding in case you are colorblind. It's something important. Something you should know beforehand. Looks like we got no traffic. We're gonna have to follow that yellow line until we reach Golf. There should be Golf up ahead. Straight is Golf, and then the x-axis is gonna be Alpha, and then another y-axis is gonna be our hotel. So Golf, Alpha, Hotel. So first y-axis is Golf, x-axis Alpha, y-axis Hotel. To get to runway 09er. Then we're going to circle around at 8005, I think we said. Let's try to follow our own flight plan that we made right now. And let's cover 10 miles distance outbound before re-landing. And that's the information you do want to type up and turn into an airport on your flight plan. Looks like there's so much traffic in these simulations. We're going to have to stop up ahead. Sometimes the airport or the tower is going to tell you to hold short of a certain area. In this case, they might have said hold short Golf. So this is where we would be holding short to avoid all this traffic. Pretty sure there should be a line. Let's look for a line. There might not be. So we're clear. Left is clear. Right is clear. Let's continue. That might have been the line. Where we want to hold short of. I'm not too familiar with this airport. But again, this is the y-axis on the instructions. It's going to be Golf. You can see little symbols there. In yellow is going to be Alpha that's coming up. We are on the black, which is Golf. So this is our x-axis, which is going to be Alpha. To follow instructions, Golf, Alpha, Hotel. And we typed in broken weather, so it's going to be really rainy. It's going to be very difficult. Well, not too difficult. But you do want to challenge yourself. This is going to be hotel, the y-axis. So we followed Golf Alpha Hotel. There's a hotel up ahead on the left, first left. So I was saying, you do want to challenge yourself with bad weather. Something that's going to be unpredictable, and you want to be ready for it. Hitting the brakes a little bit while I'm navigating here. While I'm taxiing, I mean. Okay, let's run it over here and hold short of runway. Yeah, there should definitely be a line. I'm betting it's also yellow. You do want to go a little bit slow to not surpass that line, otherwise you could get a pilot deviation and a number your way. There's the line. It's green, right? Oh, never mind. It's orange with blue. Alright, so this is where we would contact tower again and mention where would the tower be here? I don't think we can see it from here. We would mention, oh, I think I see it. Might be that one. We would say this is Alpha Delta Hotel. On hotel, short of runway 09er, ready for departure. We'd get some instructions and we'd reply those instructions. Let's say they gave us XYZ information and we reply the same thing, and it would sound something like runway 09er, heading 100, reporting 10 miles outbound, cleared for takeoff, Alpha Delta Hotel. And from there, you only have a small amount of time. You don't want to hold up the line. So, not full throttle yet, actually. You want to line up first. I almost went for a full power takeoff there. Let's get 1 point of flaps. We're almost in the middle of the runway. Let's go full throttle. Remember to use your right rudder, Alright, we got airspeed live, and at 65 this thing should take off since our trim is neutral. Let's double check that instruments are green, oil pressure, oil temp is go, and perimeter charging, vacuum between 4 and 6, and we have a positive ascension at 500. Chasing 500 feet of ascension, so trim up a little bit. Not too much, since we're just going to release the flaps, get the flaps neutral once we're 300 feet in the air. And let's not forget landing and taxi once we're up those 300. And the elevation for this one is 6,003, so let's go 6,006. We want center of runway, as long as we can see it, we're probably close to the center. Oh, and there's that rain. It's probably going to be a lot of lift. We have face wind. Alright, there we are, 6,600, so that's 300 feet in the air. 0 flaps, flaps up, and don't let it descend. I'm going to do a heading at 100, so it's a little bit to the right if you're taking off 09er. And I gotta release the right rudder up ahead since I gotta use the mouse. I'm using an Xbox remote here. Okay, letting go of the right rudder. Let's go landing off, taxi off, and we have everything by the book. We have a visual reference, that horizon right there. That should keep us around 500 feet. Keep that noise pointing at that horizon. And we will have 500 feet of ascension. Let's check our heading. Might be a little to the left if we're going to head on over to the ATC instructions, which was depart heading 100. Usually it's only 5 miles outbound before you can start to resume your course. Let's say it's 5 miles outbound. So let's just fly straight, keep ascending, since we want to reach 8,500 to follow our own instructions for our flight plan and not deviate. check your instruments from time to time, just give them a glance, check everything's on green. Make sure vacuum doesn't jump around. Nothing is in a red arc. I wonder what desert flights would look like at night. It still looks a little green. So if ATC asks us our position, we would say 8,800, heading 100, 5 miles outbound, Alpha Delta Hotel. Looks like we are 5 miles out, so let's resume our course. I think we wanted to go 09er, but we want to land back on 09er, so we gotta go around. So let's join up with 27, the reciprocal of this. Let's sign up with that runway and do a 180. If that was not part of the flight plan, we want to inform ATC. So we would do initial contact, X-ray Bravo Alpha Delta Hotel. Alpha Delta Hotel, go ahead. Requesting route change, radial 270. When ATC is informed, they'll probably say something like, Alpha Delta Hotel, go ahead, authorized, and we would resume flight plan. And they might say something like, report on station. So that'll mean once we're established on radial 270 in this case, we would report back to ATC. So let's fly a little bit this way to not fly over the airport, almost as if we're doing a circuit. We're getting close to 8,500, and we may want to request altitude reduction because probably gonna fly IFR if we go a little higher. So Alpha Delta Hotel requesting altitude change, requesting 8,000 feet. Then ATC will say they're informed and go ahead, authorized, report when established at 8,000, and we reply just that. Wilco 8,000 Alpha Delta Hotel. Wilco being will comply. We do not want to descend more than 1,000 feet, so let's do this. Let's reduce some power. Looks like we forgot pitch is for speed, throttle for altitude, because we were almost in that yellow arc with the airspeed. Maybe just pulled the throttle completely almost. And there we are at 8,000. That might not be enough, actually. Alpha Delta Hotel requesting altitude change, 7,500. And we might get a Alpha Delta Hotel, go ahead, report at 7,000. We would say Wilco 7,000 Alpha Delta Hotel. Ooh. Got some turbulence right there. Let's trim up a little to not fight so much. Let this thing kind of fly itself. We're getting a little bit of clear weather. Looks like we want 7,000. Alpha Delta Hotel requesting altitude change, 7,000. Wilco 7,000 Alpha Delta Hotel. Oh, right. Right around there. That might be perfect to avoid those clouds. So let's go to cruising speed for a Cessna 172. That'll be 2,300 revolutions. Let's not descend anymore. Alpha Delta Hotel, establish at 7,000 feet. See our RPMs a little less around there. We're maintaining that 7,000. Avoiding all those clouds. Usually 1,000 feet, so we would probably have to be at 7,500. It's like a minimum above ground level. We're about to cross the airport and cross the station. And once we do, we want to go ahead and join up with our radial. So it's going to be, in this case, to our right to join a 270 radial. Then from there, we do 180. And a lot of people get confused. Once you do a 180, your radial does not change to 09er. You establish a 270, you turn around, you're still on a 270. Let's gain some altitude. We're at a good cruising speed. It should be around 90 always for cruising. Let's trim down a little. Maintaining 2,300. Good. On a much older Cessna, you might want 2,350. But these are factory conditioned ones. Exactly 2,003 should do. Let's start. Did we miss our radial? Looks like it's to our left now. We're not paying attention there. Let's go 2.7. Can go a little faster with a little bit of left pedal. Not too much, we want to keep this coordinated. So release the right pedal and smack a little bit of right rudder. No more than 30 degrees of banking. And if it's to our left, let's try 240-ish. Let's fly 240 to join up with a radial. Keep it coordinated, the little ball in the turning mag is in the center. If we release it, it'll probably go a little bit to the left. Alright, good. If we press it, let's see what happens. If we press the right rudder, it goes to the left. If we release it, it goes a little to the right. So let's line up with the 240. We're a little high. Let's reduce some throttle. Let's fly here until we got a CDI live, and let's try to pay attention this time. Reduce a little bit of altitude, a little bit of throttle. Throttle altitude, pitch speed. Alright, we got CDI live. Let's join up with 270 real slow. Smack a little bit of right rudder, tilt the wings a little. So we can release the rudder here. The ball is centered, we are coordinated. Let's do it a little quicker. We don't want to miss that radial. Right around there. Looks like we stayed a little to the left. Let's fly 269-ish. And just fly steady from there. Let's gain some altitude. Let's go full throttle. Keep that nose controlled, no more than 500. Alright, and back to 2,300 RPM since we're close to that 7,000. Let's fly under 270 like a 269 since it's a little to the left. 5.6 miles. You wouldn't say point, you would say decimal. 5.7 miles outbound. Once we're at 10, let's go ahead and do a 180. Try to not descend or ascend. Which will be difficult with this broken weather. And considering that we're going to go into a cloud and we may have to go IFR there. Probably just want to do our 180 early, rather than going out 10 miles. So let's go ahead, go back, before going blind in there. We report with tower with initial contact again, X-Ray Bravo. This is, X-Ray Bravo, Alpha Delta Hotel, and then wait. Alpha Delta Hotel, go ahead. Alpha Delta Hotel, this is Alpha Delta Hotel requesting approach. Approach clearance might be a little more universal. Requesting approach should do, and it should be considered ideal since you want to take up the least amount of time possible communicating your intentions to not take up radio time. Then we might get instructions like join at 270, report at 5 miles. Say exactly that. Wilco, reporting at 5 miles in, runway 27 right. It's a little to the left of us. We are still on radial 270. The only thing that's changed is our heading. Heading is now 09er. That was actually runway 09 right, not 27. Getting close to that 5 miles inbound to report with 6.2. And again, you're going to be 1,000 feet above ground, so we would probably be flying here at 7,005, not 7,000 exactly. Since that's only like 700 feet in the air. And runway in sight. Our CDI might not be so useful here the closer you get. Let's see. Alpha Delta Hotel, 5 miles inbound, 7,000. Now we're going to put an emphasis on those pappies. We can see a little bit of red lights there. That might be too low. So just maintain yourself, don't descend anymore. I want to wait for a white happy light. We're chasing 2 white, 2 red. That'll give us a good angle of approach, and that's when we want to start doing the slow flight and start reducing our RPMs at 2,000 or below. Then once we hit a white arc on the airspeed, we want to smack a point of flaps, aka 10 degrees. There is one pappy. Chasing one more. There it is. Alright, reduced to 2,000. So we're getting close to 3 pappies. Let's go to 1,900. Let's reduce a little further and keep that nose neutral. Reduce to a little more. Nose neutral, 1 point of flaps, and don't let it ascend. That nose stays down. I want to trim up a little bit, not fight it so much. Right, let's get those reds again. Killing most of the power. Not all of it completely. Alright, we want to start slowing down. From here, you want your wings leveled and not tilt them anymore. You don't want to roll anymore. You're using your rudders here. Flying a little low. Let's recover a little bit of speed. Nose a little bit up. Reducing a little bit of throttle. That nose stays up. Maybe a little more throttle, not too much. I'm gonna stay in that wide arc. Yeah, looks like too low. Do not descend anymore. Let's get that trim neutral. You want to make it past that umbral. We're at a good speed, but we're too low. We're gonna make it over the umbral, so everything's gonna be legal. Smack the right rudder and start to flare a little bit right there. Perfect. That would not have been a heavy landing. Almost buttered. Alright, flaps up. Don't introduce the brakes so immediately. You want to tap the brakes, but let it roll for now. Kill all the power. Throttle completely out and stay into the center of runway. Start introducing the brakes little by little. Alright, looks like we can do full brakes from here. And let's exit. Let's check out our exit too. Report to ATC. Looks like this is going to be Fox. Exiting Fox. Looks like the instructions are Fox Alpha. Exiting Fox Alpha Golf to Hangars. Alpha Delta Hotel. Good day. Let's see if we were right. Black is where we are, yellow is where we're heading. Okay, Fox is where we are, so left is going to be Alpha. This is Fox. Now we are Alpha, so Fox was Y-axis. Alpha is X-axis, and Y-axis again would be Golf, which will take us to the hangars. So black is where we are, yellow is where we're heading. So we are on Alpha, and Golf is up next. We don't need too much speed here, since we have a tailwind. And if you're a little confused about the X and Y axis, think of it as a 2D surface. Like graph paper for math. It's just up, down, left, right. This is going to be Golf, so let's brake a little bit. There's not enough pressure-sensitive buttons. It's difficult to get the amount of brakes that you want. And the rudders are applied to the triggers on this remote. These are the most pressure-sensitive, it seems. I've heard that drones are flown with Xbox remotes sometimes. So it's good enough. Ooh, I need to brake. I'm gonna have left clear after this truck. Let's see. So we have right clear after that truck. Alright, looks like we're good. Is there a car coming? Oh, it's far on. So once we left Alpha, we joined Golf. This has all been Golf so far, and our hangars should be up ahead. This would be pretty much what an entire session would look like. They get pricey every time, so take advantage of these. We don't have to follow that white line, there's no traffic. The yellow line, I mean. Or is it blue? Okay, reducing power a little bit, we're getting close to the hangars. Let's assume there's a bunch of planes parked. We got left clear. Right has been clear. And a tip to not let the wings get scratched up is if you see shadows on the wings, usually if the shadows touch, the wings will touch. I think I learned that from another YouTuber. Nothing an instructor mentioned. So where your trim is, imagine that's where that yellow line is underneath. It keeps you lined up a little bit. Alright, right back to where we started. Go ahead and get it all the way over there. It's like if you press too much rudder on these things, it counts as a brake. Was there a little more? Probably good right around there. Perfect. Let's see if we can turn it to make it easier for the next guy, but you could probably just turn it off here, and these things don't weigh that much. You can probably tilt it enough and turn it. Let's go ahead and see what's possible this way without changing our position. 1,000 RPM. Almost. Usually we'll just turn it off and then just turn it, pushing down on the rudder area, and turning it that way. So let's see, after landing checklist, let's apply these brakes, get them locked. After landing, we have 1,000 RPM, which is where we are. That's a check. Flaps are up. That's a check. Lights are off. Oh, that's something we forgot. Landing and taxi, you want to turn on before landing. So these, in theory, would have been on the whole time, right before landing. Not right before landing, but before landing. And from here, we would turn them off, including navigation. Beacon stays on, so lights are off, radios and avionics are off. You do not switch this off immediately. You would go off here, that little C button, counterclockwise. C button, counterclockwise. And then avionics off. So now mixture off. And we wait for the propellers to stop spinning. Looks like we're good. Stop spinning. And magnetos off. We pull the key. Usually leave it dangling around here. Magnetos off. Beacon off. Master off. And fuel selector valve stays on both. So it's a full-on entire procedure by the book. Hope you guys enjoyed, and hopefully it was useful for something. Maybe learn something new, and hope to see you guys in the next session.